Alright, with most of that cleared out and the teeth clean here, put a fresh bit of grease in there. This is Super Lube Full Synthetic. You can pack this box if you want to. The old grease was supposed to melt and pool and then reapply itself to the gears as you worked, but over time, of course, it hardens and makes that just gear-shaped space in it and waxes up and doesn't touch the gears anymore. The new grease is full synthetic, so it's going to be able to stick on the gears much better. And then we'll put that gasket that was in there back in and apply our screws again. And this should be ready to go for 50 or 60 more years of service. The other good thing about the synthetic gear grease is that it's not going to react with a lot of greases, so there's no issue with especially like lithium grease reacts with a lot of other greases. So if you mix lithium and other greases, it'll go bad faster. But this full synthetic stuff, much less reactive, so just have to give a cursory clean out and that fresh grease will work a treat in there. Same thing on the top, of course. This machine, again, because it's moving really nicely and freely, just want a tiny drop and make sure we get our bobbin winder. It's actually pretty good that the bobbin winder is loose, because these can be hard to free up. Although you'll notice this has a problem with the layout where the bobbin winder is directly on top of the bearing for the top shaft. So you have to have a pinpoint needle oiler to reach in and get a drop of oil on the shaft bearing at the end. On this end, there's just a hole right on top of the bearing, and we'll go through and put a tiny drop of oil on everything here. And the cam has an oil hole down the middle that you can run your oiler in and put a few drops in. This is a double reduction, so it's got a brass gear and then a steel gear that is driven. If you want to, you can get a little bit of grease under there, but the reason they chose brass is that with a teeny bit of sewing machine oil, the brass and steel gear drive is considered to be almost self-lubricating. It's a very low friction drive, and then the steel gears get a little bit of oil on them from this oiling location up top, so there's not a great concern for those gears, but you can apply a dab of synthetic grease underneath if you want. Yeah, this machine is turning nicely, so just need to finish cleaning up the needle plate and get that put back together, and then open up and adjust that pedal for the controller. Alright, we got our plate. I already polished the pieces up, and then I check to make sure that they're nice and flat. both the main plate and the sliding plate. There were actually some burrs underneath the flat and the needle plate, so they were not able to rest tightly together. And then with those two pieces in place, we can put our lever on and have it hook over the pin here. And then I'm gonna actually set it for the zigzag side, but you can pick whichever direction it goes. And then this screw has a shoulder on it to make the pivot. And we need to get that threaded in and then make sure that you wiggle so that it's on the shoulder before you tighten this. If you miss getting the shoulder in the right position so that this lever is riding on the shoulder, then of course the screw will clamp the lever instead of tightening onto the bottom of the thing and allowing it to pivot. So, alright, with that together and polished and flattened, that is ready to go back on the machine. After that pedal adjustment, you can see we get a little bit of control much higher up and a bit more range out of it. So we'll see if the customer appreciates that. Otherwise we'll just need to be replacing this. The other thing I'm going to do is floss the tensioner. So I don't want to have to take it apart for a full cleaning, and it doesn't appear to have anything stuck in it, so just grab a piece of fabric, fold it on edge, and put that in there. And it is kind of grimy. Maybe I will have to take this apart, but it's a good place to start. And this is a 3-disc tensioner, so it's got room for 2 threads for twin needle sewing. I'm getting a bit of yellow out of this, so maybe I do need to take this apart, but we'll check the other side here. Yeah, the second set of discs was clean, so we'll just go back through with our rubbing alcohol on the first side, and that also came out clean the second time. So flip this over and fold it the other way, and do those, and I think that's going to be good enough. If you do that rubbing alcohol and you get, you know, a lot of really dark material, or if you floss and you get bits of fuzz coming out, it's a good indicator you need to actually pull the tensioner open and make sure that you get any loose thread that's stuck in there out, or it won't obviously grip and tension properly.